A very warm good evening to all of you. Welcome to the 203rd session of Center's webinar series for teachers. I hope all of you are keeping safe and staying healthy. The topic for today's webinar is how to master the basic fundamentals of life and success. The facilitator for this session is Mr. Sandeep Punj. A very good evening to you, sir. A very warm welcome to you for this 203rd session. Before I hand over the session to our facilitator, I would like to give a very brief introduction about our facilitator. Mr. Sandeep is having over 2 decades of industry experience in the field of L&D, strategic planning and distribution with Fortune 100 companies. He has held various leadership positions in learning and development across financial services. He has been a corporate trainer, performance, and life coach for various corporate houses. I have also customized various training workshops based on the needs and profiles of the participants. Over last 2 decades, he has successfully imparted learning to over 1,60,000 individuals at nearly 45,000 platforms hours across hierarchy levels with positive thinking, religion, psychology practice, which he effectively used in correcting human endeavor and develop critical thinking ability within people from all walks of life. And Mr. Sandeep is a passionate trainer and a self-motivated professional. A very warm welcome to you, sir. Before I hand over the session to our facilitator, Mr. Sandeep Punj, I would like to inform all the teachers that they will receive participation certificates for this session. So do fill out the feedback form that will be shared with you towards the end of the session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Harsha. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are.
Okay, thank you so much. A very warm welcome to all the viewers, all the people who are participating in this series. So let's begin. We will begin with setting the aim first. So the first aim in learning and teaching is to raise the confidence and self-esteem of the learner. So how do we do this? We encourage the learners to participate without judging whether they are right or wrong. And this is the method of non-correctional, which means we do not make corrections to it. So let's begin this session. A very warm welcome to all of you, to Center team, to Harsha, to Rohit and others. I would also be looking at the comments in case you have questions which I can answer over a period of time. So this course that we are talking about, how to master the basic fundamentals of life and success, this course consists of 6 fundamental ideas, 6 fundamental principles, and we will be covering one of them today. Now, before we go deep into our first module, we will quickly introduce you and give you an overview, a basic overview of the Balance 5 principles that can help you master the basic fundamentals of life and success. So why is it important? Now, achieving anything in life, like big goals, small goals, dreams, wishes, or even solving problems, overcoming challenges, finding solution, is actually based on a cognitive process. Cognitive process means something that you are doing mentally. So problem solving is a cognitive process of the brain that searches a solution for a given problem or finds a path to reach a given goal. And there are several challenges one may face. And at the root of everything is your method of thinking. So in today's module, we will learn about how our scattered thoughts create difficulties in our lives. Now, why this framework, why we recommend, why we talk about this framework, how will it help you? Because it is universally applicable. When we say universally applicable, I'll just give you a quick glimpse about life. So if you look at this blue circle and assume that this is your life, it consists of many parts because life is multifaceted. You cannot compartmentalize life into one or two areas. It consists of many areas, many roles that you play in life. For example, uh, you have a financial area, you have a work area, you have a family area, you have an education area. Similarly, there are different roles that you are playing. And in each of those areas, each of those roles, you will face events in life. Those events can make or break your life. Most of the people focus only on events to solve the puzzle of life, and that's where they lose the focus on the overall vision of life. So this is how your current world is. Whatever you have and whatever you want, there will always be a gap. And this gap, if it is not solved, if it is not filled timely, it leads to problems, challenges, and other things. And these things create negativity, stress, anxiety, worry, fear, low confidence, and this in turn impacts the other areas of your life as well. And this circle is vicious. So when you have tension in one area, you will probably have a bad relationship or bad grades or bad experience in other areas also. Now, how do we move out of it, or how does this entire system works? So demonstrating it with the help of a picture, we receive a lot of information from our outside world through our senses. We call it as input. The same information that we have acquired through our senses is then processed using our method of thinking. Now, this mind, or the brain, what we call, processes this information, and this leads to either we take action or we don't take action. And this collectively gives us the result. Now, if you look at it very closely, inputs normally remain same. Actions also people normally take or don't take, which is also more or less same. It is actually the process, how you process the information to solve problems or achieve goals, that matters most. So let's look at this part a little bit more deeply. Uh, a very very quick introduction about how do you move from mediocre results that you're getting in life. It could be related with schools, it could be related with your health, it could be related with your relationship, even a wish that I would like to have an ice cream, or I would like to make a cup of tea. It's a journey from this place to a desired outcome that you really want in your life. Now, how do you bridge this gap is basically based on the mental process that we talked about, the cognitive process. Now, most of the people use this process knowingly or unknowingly. But once you are aware how it actually works, and if you start practicing it, the results start improving phenomenally. So what is the process? Basically, it starts with five key principles. And one part that we will cover today, we will explain you that also. So the first part is a very firm decision about what do you really want in life. And it should be beneficial, useful, helpful for you as well as for others. And then the journey starts by creating your action design system, which is a system view, taking daily actions towards moving towards your goals, reviewing whatever is happening in your mind, because since everything exists only in your mind, we are talking about cognitive process. So the progressive experience is what you gain inside your mind, and then you use the same experience to move ahead with more vigor, more motivation the next day to achieve your results. And that's where comes the fourth principle of decisive mindset. Here also people give up at times, saying that I would procrastinate, I would do it tomorrow, maybe day after tomorrow. So why all these things happen, and how do we overcome that? And finally, moving to the last pillar, which is about responsibility. Now, during this entire journey, people learn through their mistakes, which is a moment of learning when they look back, and then there is a moment of choice, which is forward. So let's go into our first module. This was a quick overview of what we have. Let's get into the first module. The methodology that I will use today will consist of 4 parts. You will attend. You will immediately try and apply it, because I'll keep it in form of activities. you can immediately make improvements by looking at the places where you think that you need to change things and achieve the results that you set for yourself during this training program. So why is it important today? Because we live in a VUCA world. VUCA means it's volatile, it's uncertain, it is complex, it's ambiguous. And all these things create stress, anxiety, fear. And even if you look at the overall statistics produced by even the boards, the CBSE, the government, you will find that 81% of students today, they face anxiety and depression. And this is not limited to students alone. You look at the families, there are arguments, there are relationship breakdowns. You look at parenting, parents not able to raise the children to the way they want them to be raised. There are a lot of blame games happening. All these things, the root cause is basically your method of thinking, and one of the model that we are introducing today will help you understand why it happens. So the question that I have for you is, would any person on this earth willfully like to get depressed or invite anxiety and fear into their lives? Of course, the answer would be no. Then why does it happen? And why is it so important for us to, to understand this model today and work on it? This is very important as of today, more important in today's context, because even machine is learning. You have now chat GPT coming in, you have systems coming in which are automating things for individuals, for organizations, and it is expected to surpass human beings in the next 10 years, which means the machine will be able to do the routine work far better, more efficiently, in less time than human beings can do. So this can have a negative impact also today. uh, for example, when we look at teachers, the teachers can use chat GPT to create the lesson plans. When we look at marketing professional, they can use chat GPT to create a marketing plan. When we look at students, they also can use chat GPT to complete their homeworks. So what is the problem then? The problem is that they will not be able to understand how to use their mind systematically when so much of information is available. And this is estimated that this may result, uh, close to 30% of the world population may suffer from mental disorders by 2050. Now that's a very high level study. So what is the root cause? Why would somebody feel or face negativity in their life? The root cause is the all the information that we have taken so far, we are not able to process that information constructively for the benefit of individual, for his own benefit, as well as for the benefit of collective society. Now let's go into the first model, and let's look at the learning outcomes that we will have today. By end of this module, you will be able to understand the impact of the negative thoughts. You will also be able to identify the negative thoughts that hold you back as of today, and you will develop a plan to overcome the negativity. Now this is how we wish to proceed, so that you can work with me during this session and see how things how you can take advantage of this model. So let's begin with our first session. And how we go about it is, let's look at a few participation from your side. How we feel at any moment can be actually a blend of different emotions. So I let me ask you to share some of the pleasant emotions that you have experienced today in your chat box on Google, on YouTube. Can you share uh, some of the pleasant emotions that you have experienced today? Let's wait what people are saying. Okay, Usha says happy and excited. Yogita says happy. Somebody says I am feeling very confident. Sangeeta says very confident. Uh, Indumati says feeling of love. Paulina says grateful, satisfied, and happy. Madhur says excited. Anchal says blissful. Excellent. So let's go to the next part. Share some of the unpleasant emotions you have experienced today, because this is the base from where we will pick up a hands-on experience for today's workshop. I'm seeing a lot of comments coming in from Namita saying joy, care. Yogita says care. Pooja is talking about amazing feelings. Somebody's happy. Excellent. So these are the happy moments that you have faced today or you have experienced today. Share some of the negative emotions or unpleasant emotions. Okay, so we are getting the answers. Let me go through it. Let me read it. Saying annoyed, upset. Parul says anxious. I'm facing anxiety. Varsha says bad arguments. Neetu says I'm feeling stressed, disappointed, exhausted. Excellent. So here is the question for you all. Why are you feeling these emotions, which is pleasant and unpleasant? And what, according to you, is the root cause of all these emotions? Go ahead and type your answers, because that's where from where you will pick up the clues, and you will learn how to overcome these things in a period of time. Great. So let's wait what people are saying. They are still typing the negative or unpleasant emotions that they have experienced. Now, okay, so somebody says, Sangeeta says, it's our expectation that creates these emotions. Somebody says, my kids brought Goa for me. That's what creates it. Criticism creates these emotions. Feeling ignored creates these emotions. Thinking process, uh, not able to balance things, instability of thoughts, situations, work pressure. So we have come up with our reaction to negative emotions as well as positive emotions. Let's see how actually it works in the cognitive world, and how you can take charge of your life and create the results that you really want. Excited to learn this? Just type yes in your chat, and I will immediately pick it up from there. So okay, great. So yes, so we are getting a lot of yeses. So what causes these emotions? So let's look at these things before we do a deep dive. There is, let's call events. Event means anything that is happening right now or anything that has happened. For example, somebody came to his house, they smiled at you and they wished you. That's an event. You are talking to someone, that's an event. We are doing a webinar, this is an event. So we call event as A. Okay. Then there is something that we think and believe about the event that is happening or that has happened. We will call it in this training program as B. And there is a result of that event that we call it as a consequence or the outcome. So A is an event, B means whatever I'm thinking about that event in my mind, whatever I believe about that event in my mind, and C is the result that I'm experiencing. Now here is the question and an activity that we are going to continue with. Make a list of all A's which you think are responsible for your own emotional upsets or unpleasant emotions. You have mentioned many unpleasant emotions that you are facing or that you have experienced, like disappointments, stresses, distraught, anger, anxiety. So here is the question, and let's continue with the activity. So what people are saying is confrontation is the reason why they are facing the emotion. Somebody says appreciation. Diba says it's negativity. We are getting its attitude, its unplanned work, its confrontations, its expectations. Now look at it very closely again, guys. What we need to look at is this what you are typing an event which is A, or is it a C, the outcome that you are typing? For example, you are saying expectations, anxiety. Is it an event or is it an outcome? Or is it what you are thinking about it? What is it? Is it A or B or C? What do you think it is? Think again and look at it very closely. Whatever anger, anxiety, appreciation, feelings that are coming to you right now is actually C. Many people have answered it very brilliantly. They have said C. Excellent. Those who think it is an event, it is an outcome of an event. So all the A's in which you are thinking are responsible for your own emotional upsets, they are C's. So what can we do? There are basically only two responses that you have when you look at the A, B, and C model. Okay. About the event, there are only two things that you can do about this A, whatever is happening or whatever has happened in your life. We can do something about it or we cannot do anything about it. Do you agree with this? Just type yes if you think it makes sense. There are only two things that we can do about anything that is happening in our life or that has actually happened in our life. Do you think this is true? Okay, great. So, yes, it's true. So, let's move on with the same example. You know the emotions that you have felt. You also know the cause of those emotions. Now, let's classify those examples A's into two categories. You can do something about it and you cannot do anything about it. So you said you are facing anxiety, you said you are facing depressive thoughts, you are saying that you're feeling uh, you know uh, anger. So can you do something about it or you cannot do anything about it? Just classify your A's, the events, into these two parts. Whatever has happened, can you do something about it or you cannot do anything about it? Right now, just focus on these two things only, the activities you can do or you cannot do. So I'm getting a lot of answers. Sangeeta Bhattacharya says yes, Rohini says yes, Neelam Gupta, yes, Geeta says yes, Anita says yes, Siddharth says yes, something about it, yes. What you can do, we will get into it later. Somebody says, Shweta says meditation, yoga, yes, we can do something. Great. So we all agree that there are certain things that we can do something about and there are things that we cannot do anything about. Now, so what is the learning here? The learning is it is not the situation, what happened or what is happening, but what you think about it that causes the distress. Now, we can look at it with many examples. Currently, I would like you to just seep this information, take this information, and if you have any questions, just put it across uh, for me to look at it and see if I can answer it online also. It's not the situation, but what you think about it that causes the distress. Let me give you a quick example. Many teachers are here. Let's look at it like this. You are getting into a classroom and a student makes face and he starts laughing. What is the first initial reaction that people may have? If they think in their mind that this is an insult, what kind of a feeling will it create for them? They will get angry. But if they think that students are mischievous, I like his behavior, let me see if I can correct it myself, you will not feel the anger. So what you say to yourself after what you see the student doing is the reason of your stress, distress, or happiness. Now, let's look at it a slightly more closely with the help of this slide. We actually live in two worlds: a world within and a world without, or which is outside our mind. So, what does it mean? The world within is a world of your thoughts, feelings, and power. And the world outside is all about your circumstances, events, and conditions. The world within your mind is completely subject to your control. If you want to test it, sing a song mentally, repeat a song in your mind, and then change the song to another song. Can somebody force you to stop what you are thinking? The answer would be no. But if somebody is singing outside, can you actually control them? It is actually out of your control. You may use some techniques, you may use power, you may use authority, but you cannot stop them from thinking within their mind. So the world within is the cause because of which everything that is happening in the world outside appears. So this is the cause and this is the effect. If you focus here on the world within, you will get infinite power, infinite wisdom, infinite supply of everything that you wish for. Over here, the thoughts are limited. There is a limited wisdom and there is a limited supply. Now, why we say that this supply is limited? Because no matter what you are doing, you are learning from things. Yes, you are learning, but actually, when we look at it closely, actually the entire information is getting processed within your mind. The the way your mind processes that information, either you will be learning something or you will not be learning something. Let's look at a practice exercise so that you can test whatever we have learned so far. Quickly, let's do this exercise. Let's say you are driving on a road full of traffic. Chances are that you will get late for your office and you are highly stressed. Does this kind of a situation you ever faced in your life? Just type yes or no. Do you think these kind of situations happen in your life? We are just picking up the event. We can pick up any other event also. Okay, so we are getting a lot of yeses. Excellent. Now what I want you to do is, let's test your understanding. Identify the A, B, and C here. Remember, A is an event, B is what you think and believe, and C is the consequence of what you are doing. So quickly answer, what is the A, what is the B, and what is the C here in this exercise? While you are driving on a road full of traffic, you get late and you feel highly stressed. So what is A? Let's look at the responses. Getting answers so far. What is A? Sangeeta says A, but A is what? Is traffic A? Road full of traffic is A. Rohini says okay. And what is B? Getting late to office is B. C is stress. Okay. Somebody else says every day we face this situation, which is okay. Driving on a road is event. Good. And what is B? Delay. Okay. Look at it very closely again. Driving on a road full of traffic, chances are that you are getting late and you feel stressed. Now the question here is, thank you so much for giving your answers. Most of you have identified it correctly, but let me give you a perspective on this and look at it very, very closely. A is traffic. C is the result of that traffic that you face is stress. Stress is C. So what is B here? B is what you think about it. So for example, you and I, we both are in the same traffic jam. You are stressed while I am not. That means it is not the situation, but how we are thinking about it is responsible for the stress. Now, what is it that you are thinking about the traffic jam that I am not thinking? Are you there with me till now? So the way I am thinking and the way you are thinking will result either in stress or in calm posture, or how we interpret the situation or what we say to ourselves in our own mind. Excellent. So how do we create new results in life? Let's look at it, because this is where you can actually take control and shift the reasons or logics from your life and create the results. We go back to the same slides again. Event plus your response decides the outcome that you get in life. Now, Understand this: events are fixed. There is nothing that you can do about your event. Whatever is happening or whatever has happened in life, you cannot change it. We cannot go in past and redo it as per our liking. Make sense? Response is what I think, say, and do within my mind to get the result, which can be desired or undesired result. So what is it that is there in my control? The event, response, or outcome? Quickly type your answers. What is in my control? Event, response, or outcome? Some Okay, a few people say C, it's a mindset. Stop to overthink. No. Response, events, response, anxiety, response, being late. Okay, so here is the answer. What is in your control is response. The outcome is not in your control. If you are not getting the outcome, you change your response, and you keep changing your response till the time you get the outcome. And this is where you do the experiment with your thoughts, with your beliefs, with your actions, till the time you get the result, the desired result that you get. So let me give you a quick another example. Let's say I am a trainer. I go to the training program. I look at a person and I say, I have never seen a dull person like you ever in my life. That's the first interaction, and I make a comment on a person sitting on the first row. What do you think? Where will his motivation go? Will it go up or will it go down? If you said down, you're absolutely right. His motivation will go down. But then you haven't understood the principle. It's not what I say to him that you are dull that will take his motivation up or down. It's what he says to himself after what I say to him that will take his motivation up or down. Let me give it to you. Let me show it to you with an example. If he says to himself in his own mind, he met me for the first time and he is so quick to recognize that I'm actually dull, now his motivation will certainly go down. But if he changes the response in his mind and says, this guy is meeting me for the first time, not yet introduced to me, how can he judge whether I'm dull or I'm active? In this case, if he says this in his own mind, it will neither take his response up nor it will take it down. Let's look at another higher level of response that he can give himself in his own mind. And if he says he is a trainer, to break the ice, he had to pick up the smartest person in the room to crack a silly joke. If he says this to himself in his mind, what do you think will happen? His his self affirmation will take his motivation way high. Who had that choice of deciding what to say in his own mind? The person. So how do we create the new results? By changing our response to the events till the time we get the desired results. So what is the conclusion here? The conclusion is it is not the situation that causes pain and suffering. It's what we see, what we think, what we feel, what we imagine and do that causes the pain. Suffering is not uh, Suffering is basically an outcome of irrational thought pattern. Now uh, this is what we thought we will do quickly today for the participants, so that you can understand what is it that we are talking about. And this model we is the beginning model of the entire curriculum that we are delivering. And so here is the question for most of the people sitting here or watching this YouTube live. What is your biggest takeaway from whatever you have learned today? Please type your answers and let me know how did this go for you? What is your biggest takeaway from this session? So let's look at your answers. We need to change the way we think. Just do your work, thinking process, how to communicate and how to react to a given situation. It's not actually reaction. It is a well thought of action that you're giving back. I can control my response. Awesome. People say yes, this is really helpful. Responsibility, taking responsibility for what we think. Positivity, immediate reaction to action should be dropped. Be affirmative, create a positive mindset. Okay, so I'll slightly touch upon here the word mindset. There are many definitions which are there in the market. Mindset is made up of two words. One is mind and second is set. So what is it that your mind is set on? Which means what is the most dominating thought that is there in your mind will decide what your mindset is all about. If you're continuously thinking about growth in your career, your mindset is set on growth or growing in your career. If you're continuously thinking about how do I make money, you have a mindset of making money in your career, in your life. If you're continuously thinking about why people are blaming me, you have a mindset of victim, which is evolving in your mind. So now you can understand and figure out what kind of a mindset do you have and what kind of a mindset would you like to cultivate to get the results that you really care for in your life. So thanks for the opportunity to add value. Over to you, Harshita. We have 15-20 minutes, so we can take the questions from the participants. Can you hear me, Harshita?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Definitely, sir. We'll give a minute time for them to just think about the question, sir.
Okay. So here is
Questions or clarifications.
yeah. Here is a
We need
question
to
that has
wait for
come
them,
from
sir.
yeah. Here is a question that has come from Shashi Kumar H. Says how to stay positive. So let me give you an answer. What is appropriate to my mind? Positive and negative is basically a measure of what you are doing, what you are thinking, what you are saying, what you are doing. Okay. So when we say positive, it means the way we perceive it is adding value to achieve your results. So how do you stay positive? So here is a motherhood statement that I can make. And if you follow this statement, probably you will remain positive throughout your life. Start the conversation with people, start taking action on things, start the conversation and take action to improve whatever exists in your life, and you will remain positive no matter what exists. If it is bad, make it good. If it is good, make it even better. So starting conversation only about what can be improved, taking action about what can be improved, will keep you absolutely positive in your life. So let's look at it from this example. When we say overthinking, there is nothing called overthinking, Rashna. Overthinking means that you have a lot of thoughts. When you have a goal and you're thinking systematically to achieve your goal using a sequence of steps, the overthinking moves out. Uh, Excellent. So how do we coordinate between the two mindsets? There is no need to coordinate between two mindsets. You just ask yourself this question: what do I want and how do I get it? Your mind itself will give you the answer very, very clearly, because as I said, everything is inside your mind. It's an infinite wisdom. You can try it right now. Ask this question: what can I do in this situation to be positive? You will get an answer. I don't have to give it to you. Try it and tell me, can you see the answer coming to you? The first answer: how can I be happy? What can I do to be happy? Ask yourself mentally, silently in your mind. You will get the answer. Do you get the answer? So here is Sunita Bandari asking how to control our emotion. Emotion is a result, is a consequence of what you think about the event. So so if there is an event that is happening, what you are saying in your mind about the event creates positive or negative emotions that we talked about during this session. Excellent. So any other questions? How do you think?
Sir, Madhumita ma'am is asking how to control life without negativity, sir.
Okay, So there's nothing called control. The first thing that you realize is do not control anything in life. First place where people go wrong is they do not have a clear defined goal or a vision or a dream that they really want. Today, write down on a piece of paper whatever you want in your life. It can be any motherhood statement. Whatever is written is a dream. The moment you put a date to it, it becomes a goal. Okay? Just write down a statement. Once that statement is written, then the next step is ask yourself, what one action can I take today to move towards this goal? It can be any action. It can be I'll search for an action on Google. It can be I'll talk to my friend on a phone. It can be okay, I'll start a conversation. It can be I will research about it. Whatever comes to your mind, just write down the first step. Tomorrow, remind yourself to take an action on the first step. Once you take an action, then comes our framework, which is in place. Ask yourself in your own mind what I need to do to improve on this action. And the journey starts. It's a long journey. No matter what your goal is, what your wish is, that's the way you move towards it. Thank you so much for
Thank
asking
you
this
for that
question.
reply, sir. Anchal ma'am is asking how to handle criticism.
Okay, so criticism, see, everything that we get in life is all about the words and the meaning that we create. Okay, so if somebody is criticizing you, it's what you are saying to yourself in your mind is that this is a criticism, this is an attack on me. Don't look at it from that angle. I gave you a very basic foundational definition. Start conversation and take action to improve what exists in your life. Even if it is the best that you think it is, you can still make it better. So whenever somebody criticizes, says that this work is not good, just say thank you and take another step. Ask them, what can I do to make it better? The moment you start following this principle, your growth will be phenomenal. The people who are criticizing you will remain where they are because they are not utilizing their method of thinking. Hope this answers your question.
Thank you for that reply, sir. There is another question by Vijayalakshmi ma'am. Teachers are caught between the expectation of management and the lethargy of children. So, any thoughts on this? That's what she's asking, sir.
Okay, so it's a balancing act. The management wants some results, and students, when you say, are lethargic. Now, ask yourself two questions in your mind to get the answers. If the student is lethargic, meaning he's not motivated, what two things I can do to make them active or make them motivated? Just take that action. Just take that action. This may give you the result, may not give you the result. If the results do not happen, ask yourself again, what can I do better next time? What another action I can take? So when you are on this journey, do not get stopped by the events. Keep improving on a daily basis. You will start getting students from lethargic level to an active level. The ground principle is you cannot change people. You can inspire them, you can motivate them, you can educate them, you can train them, you can help them learn, but you cannot change people. People change only when they want to. So here is the secret of change. Ask students, what do you really want when it comes to studies? Whatever answer they give, just align yourself to help them achieve that goal. They are motivated to get that goal, and that solves their problem. Similarly to management, ask them, what do you want or expect from me? And then think, what can I do to achieve that goal? And you will be well on your journey to excellence. Hope this answers.
Yes, sir, definitely, sir. Thank you for that reply. Shiny ma'am is asking, how do you handle difficult people filled with depression? We go with a positive feeling, but they don't want to communicate. So, how to overcome this?
So we don't try to help people overcome depression. The first start question, my suggestion would be that you start the conversation by asking people, what do you really want? Irrespective of whatever their mood is, just ask them, how do you feel and what do you really want? Now whatever they want, ask them, What is it that you can do today to move towards it? And what you are doing currently, will it move you towards your goal? We cannot have two things, two opposite things. That's cognitive dissonance. For example, I want a great health, but I will smoke 20 cigarettes. Now, two things are conflicting in nature. So the first conversation opener is, what do you really want? And second is, what can you do right now to get that one step? And the moment the people give you that one step, journey started. The depression mood is over, because they are talking in their mind about the events, about their life. They are disconnected about, moving towards what they really want. Help them with their goals.
Thank you for that reply, sir. There is another query from one of the teachers. What about competitor or competitors? Wherever we go, jealous in people for me is overloaded. So, how to overcome this situation?
Take this as a compliment. Because if people are jealous, it means, the way I'm looking at it, is that you're doing something good. See, competition uh, exists with yourself, with others. Whatever you are doing right now, if your competitor is not doing, you're one step ahead of them. If you stay where you are and you do not grow, do not improve, and your competitor does something which is better than you become number two. So, again, coming back to the foundational definition, start the conversation, take actions to improve what already exists in your life. You will always be way ahead of all your competitors. Hope that makes sense.
Definitely, sir. The particular person is telling, yes, definitely, I'll do the action, whatever you are told, sir.
Excellent. Hope we were able to make or add some value to you all. It was a very, very small session with only one principle or one key idea that we picked up to help you understand how thoughts create your feelings and your results. Now, this is
Sir,
just,
one more
yeah.
question is there by Purvashri ma'am. She's asking, how do we try and cultivate this in students?
What do you want to cultivate in students?
Uh, the theory, whatever you told us, no, sir, A, B, and C. So, how
All
to
right.
cultivate, how to
So,
try and cultivate it? If you could give
great.
us a few activities or a few suggestions, that would be a
Activities would be
great
difficult.
help.
Yeah, activities would be difficult to give you right now because it's a very small session. But what I can share with you is, spend some time with students to understand what do they really want when it comes to their studies, when it comes to their games, when it comes to, spending fun time with their friends. Just understand what they really want. Once they have written those statements, and you have them with you, every day just ask them only one thing: what have you done today to move towards it? If they are facing problems, because if they are facing problems, if they feel that, negativity is stopping them, the thought is that to get the goal that you want and the conversation that you are having in your mind do not match. What can you say to yourself? What can you do with with the situation to get the results that you really want? We have a lot of activities, we have a lot of games that we use, which can help people get out of those, negative sides and remain on the positive sides forever. Now, this is something which is related with the principles of positive psychology. I would say, when we say method of thinking, it consists of four key areas. The framework that I explained to you. The first one is being absolutely clear about what you want. The second is making or taking steps in sequence, which is one by one after the other, and moving towards your goal. So, when we say moving step by step towards your goal, everything that you achieve in your life is achieved through sequence. There's nothing which is random. For example, when you make a tea, how do you go about making tea? You start by picking up a pan, you put water, or sorry, you light a gas, you put the pan on the gas, you put water, then you put, milk, then you put sugar, the chai patti and other things, and then the chai is made or the tea is made, and then you filter it and then serve. It's all in sequence. If you have to go for a holiday, that also goes in sequence. You cannot, jump to airport and then decide, can I buy a ticket? I forgot to buy a ticket. I didn't, book the things. So everything, when you start doing step by step, it starts moving uh, with peace. So that's the first step of the principle that we teach, the key idea. And when you look at the events in those areas and reflect on them, that's how you develop your positive thinking. We don't call it positive thinking, we call it performance thinking. The result you want and the steps you take. Hope this helps.
Sir, how to I mean the same this thing, sir. How to go about for the special children, sir? Special care children or special children
Okay, so
in few
I
of
am
the
not an
schools.
expert. I'm not an expert on that field. Uh, uh, I don't have an answer for that because that's not my subject of expertise. Neither I have done anything in that area, so would not be able to answer that. I'm sorry. Anything else?
Yes, sir. Give a minute, sir. We'll just again ask the participants to type in their questions. We'll give a minute time for them to ask the question. Type in the question.
Okay. Okay.
Sir, Divya ma'am, she has given two different this thing, sir. She has asked two different suggestions, whether to take up the
Okay.
first one or the second one. The question goes like this, sir. Should I address the situation where people take credit for the work done by us or ignore it?
Okay. So here is the answer. Ask yourself first, what do you really want when it comes to this situation? Do you want fame? Do you want name? Do you want credibility? Do you want promotion? What do you really want in life in that particular area? And then ask these two questions to yourself silently in your mind. You will have the answer. Just try it. So if your goal is to, be close to your boss, probably you will go with the first one, right? And if your goal is to establish your career based on values where you will not allow cheaters to enter, you probably will pick up the second one. So ask yourself first, what do I really want in this situation? And then you will have the answer within your mind. You don't have to search for answers outside. Don't look at others. Ask yourself, you will get the answers. All answers are hidden within your mind. This is all about cognitive process, how you use your mind to solve the puzzle mentally. Once you solve it in your mind, you will achieve the results in the outside world. Phenomenal results. Hope we get time someday and I can conduct the entire framework for the participants in case they are interested with with picking up their important life areas, important life roles, and drive the entire curriculum for them. I wish that we can do someday all these things.
Uh, Definitely, sir. Definitely. I think right now we have exhausted the questions, sir. But there might be many more questions. We'll pass on the questions to you, sir,
Sure,
in few days or something. Sir. Yeah. Thank you,
sure.
Mr. Sandeep Punj, for a very engaging and also informative session for our community of teachers. I'm sure that our teachers have got a lot of takeaways from this session. Thank you so much, all the participants, for engaging with us today. To register for more such upcoming webinars, please visit my center. Thank you, sir. Thank you to all the participants again.
Thank you, Harsh.